Hey you, stop playing Elden Ring and Lost Ark for a sec. We've got some new games to tell you about. Believe it or not, games are still coming out. Elden Ring did not end game releases. So for March, we actually have a pretty interesting lineup. So if you're ready for a break from taking time off work, if you're ready for a break for your wallet, this is probably not it. Let's jump right into it. These are some of the top games coming out in March 2022. And one in the indie spotlight that I think some of you may have already heard of and might be very excited about. So the first game that'll be releasing in March on March 1st is Elex II. Elex II is, shocker, the sequel to Elex, from the creators of Gothic and the Risen series, Piranha Bytes. Set in a post-apocalyptic sci-fi world, jetpacks and traversing the open world seem to be heavily highlighted in this game, which may bring to mind a bit too much of Anthem for some people's liking, but they're promising a story where your actions will have consequences, and that it will immerse you in a world of moral decisions. Now, I'm particularly intrigued by the idea that NPCs will join your group or leave your group based on how you behave. So don't be a dick, or be a dick. I guess it depends. I don't know. The game looks interesting, if not amazing. Also, on March 3rd, Shadow Warriors 3, developed by Flying Wild Hog and published by Devolver Digital, will be releasing the same day, March 1st. This first-person shooter with serious Doom vibes looks like it'll meld comedy and gore with plenty of action. From what I've read, it sounds like this iteration of the game will be focusing more on the action-oriented arcade-like experience instead of micromanaging modifiers. As Paolo Kowalski said, we don't want to draw the player's attention away from the action. We don't want anyone standing in place for 5 minutes wondering what upgrade they should put on their weapon to increase some stat to whatever percent. We are going back to the first Shadow Warrior, where we're upgrading everything. Hopefully that's a boon to players that enjoyed the last two iterations, but didn't like the micromanaging as much. Shifting from guns, katanas, and jetpacks, we get down to earth a little bit with Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7 will be the long-standing franchise's debut on the PS5. For a series that has always promised stunning visuals, it'll be interesting to see how this new installment works on the next-gen console. While I've never personally been a huge fan of racing games that don't involve blue shells, I know Gran Turismo is near and dear to many a racing fan's heart, so I hope the new installment will live up to expectations. Perhaps the most controversial one in the list is going to be WWE 2K22. Though developed by Visual Concepts, this game is coming after a year off. It is a wrestling game with perhaps lofty expectations, or at least high stakes. And it's not because the previous edition was good. It's actually quite the opposite. WWE 2K20 has a 1.6 user score and a 43 metascore on Metacritic, with 0. We're gonna jump right here into the indie spotlight because it'll be releasing smack dab in the middle of the month on March 16th. So this game, developed solely by Andrew Schuldice, who's been working on the title for the last 6 years, brings to mind a lot of Zelda. The game, Tunic, has been likened to classic Zelda games by a lot of various news outlets. But as Game Rant pointed out, it also draws some inspiration from the Dark Souls franchise with its focus on exploration, progression, and in-world storytelling. The game is described as an isometric action game that follows a small fox in an incredible adventure confronting colossal beasts, collecting strange, powerful items, and unraveling long-lost secrets. So if you're looking to give a indie game a shot, maybe take a look at Tunic. Are you ready to kill chaos? Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin will be launching on March 18th. This game, developed by Team Ninja, the creators of Neo 2, looks like a beautiful action-packed adventure game. PC Gamer described it as a pseudo-remake of the very first Final Fantasy game. Even with Team Ninja involved, I can't say I'm particularly intrigued. The trailers haven't done much to make me interested. This may be one I circle back to later, but I'll wait and see where the reviews come in for it. Getting towards the end of the month, on March 25th, we have one of the coolest looking games to me. Because holy shit, this game, it looks terrifying, but so cool. For the entire month, this may be the one I am most excited about. It's a supernatural action-adventure thriller set in Tokyo. Combat is first person and looks like it would be very satisfying. The combination of an intriguing mystery and what looks like satisfying and visually exciting combat, I mean, I don't feel like I need to know more. I just want to play. The only question left for me, will it be too freaky? Will I have nightmares? I'll probably have nightmares. Competing with that creepy thing is not as creepy a thing. I guess it depends on how you feel about a small pink thing eating stuff. Kirby is back, and this time the little adorable pink ball is sucking up everything. If you don't know what Kirby is, that probably sounds pretty fucking ridiculous. If you're a fan of the series though, this 17th installment looks like a lot of fun. I remember playing Kirby as a kid, but I was always a bigger fan of games like Mega Man. I still really enjoy the unique mechanic of kind of taking on the powers of just everyone around you in Kirby's unique way. The highlight of this new game has to be mouthful mode, which I don't really know how else to describe it. It's both horrifying and cool. The first example we see is in the trailer is Kirby playing the part of a living pink car cover and driving your grandparents' Mini over some sick jumps. So, enjoy? The vending machine though. The vending machine. We've strayed so far from the light. Okay, so maybe Ghostwire is number 2 on my to be played list for the month. Tiny Tina's Wonderland looks pretty incredible. I mean, what about this game doesn't look like fun? And the trailer pumped in some freaking baby metal that I can't play for you because of DMCA, but this co-op loot shooter blended with a beautiful fantasy setting with all the humor and style of Borderlands has me pumped to find some friends and jump the fuck in. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a D&D inspired spin-off of the Borderlands series, and it just looks like so much fun. It looks like something that you would really just enjoy sitting down and playing with some friends and just having a couple laughs. You'll have multiple classes to choose from, and for me, I'm definitely looking at the Berserker. That seems to be appealing to me. So that's it. After an incredible slate for February, where we saw a huge MMO launch in Lost Ark, new expansions for other games like Guild Wars 2 and SWTOR, and one big, massive mega game in Elden Ring, March still has several solid games to whet your appetite. So it looks like it'll be another good month in what's been a good year for games so far. But this is far from a complete list. There are way too many games launching in March for me to cover this. If I did, you would have fallen asleep at least an hour ago, and my voice would be completely gone. So if there are some that I missed that you really want us to know about, please let us know down in the comments below. My name is Redbeard Flynn. If you liked this video, please consider clicking that little button down right, somewhere in the corner over there. It really does a lot to help this channel. I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.